Señora,
Hola. All right.
aloha, my friend.
Let's. Um. So today was a unique a unique day. It seemed to me. Regarding for Monday. So we'll just start with MU. I it has earnings on Wednesday, and based on how things have been moving and how it had been upgraded. I held it from Friday into Monday, thinking that hey, it should go up on Monday and we should be pretty good. It's been upgraded a few times by big players. You can go and look it up yourself. I'm not gonna do that for people. Um, and I was just like, okay, it's been doing pretty well. It's been steadily going up, and it had hit a recent what basically new all-time high. It didn't stay there long, but it had hit it. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, this seems to be good news. Um, so I'm like, okay, well, um, maybe it'll continue going up, just like some of the FANG stocks and other stocks that have been um going up. And even though it had slightly come down a little bit over that week, I was still feeling good about it. And then I woke up this morning, checked my account, and saw that this is where I was at closing Friday, and we had jumped up, let's say 93.30 to
3%.
90.30. So at least $4, and it has peaked here to close to um 98. And so I'm like, this thing, even if it does a little downturn the first 15 or 20 minutes, it's gonna go up and hit 100 easily. And moves 350 a day. So I'm like, we have a good chance of hitting that 100. So I was expecting this, and this is how people say if something goes against you. And so first of all, I'll just say, so I could have taken my money here in the pre-market very easily. It was enough volume. I could have easily taken it. And I did it. Someone recommended that I do this with the quickness and that I at least do 80% or 50% or something. And I was just gun ho. Someone was right. And but I was like, well, it's a Monday. It jumped up over the weekend. Why wouldn't it continue to go up? It's been upgraded by several major key players, and it's been recently talked about. Um, some of the people that we follow were also gun ho on going long on it. And so it was like, hey, this is a nice spot. And so I said, hey, you know what? I'm gonna keep it and let it go up to 100. And what I ended up doing is letting it bleed down literally all day. Now, when I sold it, I had a few dollars positive, but basically I went from having $4+ per share to a few cents per share positive. And it was one of those situations where I don't want to say ego, but my thought that, hey, this is set up so well, it's going to do so great, this is going to go long and everything's going to be great. I let that set me up for failure, because when I saw that it was coming down and we're getting into this is 10 a.m. now, and it's still, this whole time has been under the volume weighted average price. So it's still been under the VWAP this whole time since the very beginning. And then we moved to 10:15, 10:30, 11. Now I said, well, it has to come up. So then we go to 11, 11, 11. We were getting to 12, and it still really hadn't come up. So by 12 at the latest, if it's still here, then I should have gotten out sometime between, I'll say, 11:55 and 12:05. Okay. Maybe I could have watched it a little bit because it was going up, but it started to come back down. I'll say 11:55 and 12:25. I should have gotten out between that time, because it had basically all morning. If it's not getting there by sometime during the mid morning or before lunch, it's kind of just sliding down. And if it's not getting above, the only time it got above VWAP was when it opened, which you really don't count that, and then it touched VWAP, the tip, and then came back. This should have told me this is very weak. And I was just looking at it and saying, oh, well, it'll come back, it'll come back. Not, and I'm saying that basically hoping and praying versus saying, what is the data? What is the chart showing me? When a chart shows you that this is how weak it is, and it can't get above VWAP at all, even in the first 15, 20 minutes, even if it's going down, it will usually spike up against VWAP. It never did that. So this is another lesson you guys should learn from our mistakes, that, hey, just don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. Get out. I wasted some money here, but I still could have made decent money. Take your money and run. Take your money
Yeah,
and
and if you still want to dabble with it, do what I suggested, which was maybe do 80% get out and see what happens with the other 20%. But
run.
at least you got the majority of your money.
Yes. And so I didn't do either thing. And so I just let it go down to nothing. And then in the end, after I saw, oh yeah, I guess it's going to be the downturn for tomorrow. So I shorted 10 shares just to see if my theory was right, just to prove the theory right. But it's kind of like this, I would say from 10 onward, below VWAP proved it. And if I was stupid here and all of this didn't prove it, this right here, this little boop, 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 and then go down, that was that sealed its fate. So it's something that you could have a perfect analysis, perfect hypothesis, all of this kind of stuff. But if the chart is showing you something different, you have to look at what you're seeing and reevaluate. You have to. And this was showing me, for whatever reason, MU was going to be weak. And I should have reevaluated. And I didn't. I had, even though someone was saying, be conservative, get out here, you never know. Okay, I can see, not saying, well, okay, I'm going to go for the gusto, even though a more conservative person would have gotten out, take the money and ran. But when I saw this, I still could have got out here and got still, okay, I lost $2, but I still got something. I made $2 plus. I got out here, but I did do that. I waited and made pennies. So it's just something for you guys to understand and know. And it's just a lesson learned. You can't just go by, hey, even, do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Because you can be right, you can be wrong, but I wanted to be right more than I wanted to make money.
Nobody went broke from making a profit, so it doesn't matter
And not only
if you're right or wrong.
money,
Just take your money and run.
but I ended up being wrong anyway. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Make money. 23andMe, who cares? It was up 10%. It's been trending down the whole time. If you had got into this as I got into this as an IPO, and I got out, and that time, basically, as soon as I could get out from the IPO, I got out, and it still wasn't soon enough. But I got out in the very beginning. But this thing has bled down, and yeah. So this is garbage. And I just hope that people got out, and when they should have. Has it made any money? No. Yeah. So yeah. Open. This is a pop here. I would recommend that you kind of jump in it. 301. If you're on this down train, I personally will recommend you jump in. I still think that it's on its way to this 250 area. It kind of touched it and it jumped back up, but I still will want you. This is about to cross right here. I still will want to get in. I could easily see it getting here, even possibly here, but I like this 250. And if you're buying a lot of shares, you can make money. Tesla did well today. So it's finally maybe coming up now. It still looks like it's on hard buy. But this was a good day for it to come up. This was a nice Monday to get in. It had jumped up here. So even if you held it since Friday, let's say, you still got a nice, basically from the 160 area, that people have been talking about, that level. You got a nice bump up, close to $7. You could have got out here. It came down. This is what I was expecting from MU. Exactly this thing. It would come down. I could buy in a little bit and then up to the heavens. And when I didn't see this, what is this? If you don't see a movement by 10, I'm sorry. You gotta get the HELL out. And I was waiting for this. It did not happen. As you can see, it's below VWAP, but then it shows the strength by coming above. Never shows that with MU. And I know this, but I wanted to be right more than I want to make money. So this is what I was looking for. What happened to Tesla? It didn't happen. Also, this makes me think with MU, going back to it, it makes me think that MU earnings, maybe it will have good earnings, but it may come down because people may be starting to take their money, and it may come down because usually the last couple of days beforehand, if it's going to continue going up, it'll just keep going up. So that's just something to be aware of, all you people who have some MU, who are thinking, hey, it's gonna continue, and just be careful with that. But we'll talk about it on Wednesday. Google, uh, this right here, cray cray. So Google did a jump up too. Here's Friday, 141. And then we get into the pre-market, we're nearly at 149. In 148 to 149 area. And then what it does is it does the opposite of Tesla. And even though I don't have VWAP here, I'm pretty sure first 15 half hour it's above VWAP, and then it just bleeds down and basically comes back down to where it was at in the pre-market. So you could have got more money here, some money here, the same money that you got in the pre-market, but you still got a nice bounce up. I would have even accepted this because this would have been much better than what I got with MU. But it's a sweet jump up, and this is a nice wick here, so maybe this will continue to come up. It's a nice up wick that I tend to think it will, I tend to think, oh, there's an indication that it's going back up. This is a level here too. I don't know why this is not moving. Past 2023. But for whatever reason, it's not moving fast. I don't know what's wrong with this. But
Refresh it. Refresh it.
either way, it seems like we're going back to some highs. I just couldn't tell which high because of the fact that, Okay, so it looks like we're going, I guess I can call this all-time highs again. New all-time highs. We hit here, and then looks like we're getting close right here, just what it did today. So we're coming here. We'll probably finish this mountain, hang out around here, and then I'll probably come back down. That's what it looks like it's gonna do, because I don't think it's done that before. Yeah. So it will probably hang out around here a little bit. So Google, it did eventually hit new all-time highs. Looks like it did it in February, and then kind of went down a little bit, and it's coming back up. It's just dancing around the level. Lyft, I guess there's news in Lyft and Uber, but I don't really care. But I guess if you went with that today, you get 65 cents. Meta was over 2%. Meta's still strong, It's still doing the damn thing. And so yeah, it's I, I can't speak against it. So you know, you just have to wait for the crash. But I can tell you one thing, it will come. Target, we already know where Target is going. We talked about this several times. This is a hangout spot here, and It's already above that. It's coming back down, but eventually we're going up. And I think Walmart will eventually help it. Um, Bank of America, same thing. I think the banks will get better as people start getting more loans. Um, but here it's just kind of like it's gonna dance here for a little bit. But this will eventually come up as we get into more financial activity going on. Disney Disney is finally strong. We maintained that level above 100. It's jumped up. It's it's basically just coming up. So if you like it, now's kind of like a good time. Next levels will probably, once it gets back to 120, we'll probably be looking at the 140 level. Um, but Disney will be coming back, and we will be getting back to all-time highs because once it's set and maintained itself, now if it comes back under $100, yes, you should be concerned. But it had stayed at this level, this 90 level, for so long, and it finally broke out. And now we're getting into the spring. It shouldn't really be a reason for it to reverse again. Campbell's, um, let's just hope and pray. Um, let's just hope and pray. That finally it can come up, but we did move our levels to 49.50 versus the 55.56 because Campbell was downgraded. So it will come back up, but once it fills this gap from over here, just take your money and run. It wasn't as hardy as I thought it would be for this past winter. Um, we did make some money on it when it was down in the 40s. We kept getting in and getting out, but I wanted to make the big money, 55, 50 to 55. Uh, Peton, it was also up a percent basically. Um, and I ended up getting out. I basically lost just a few pennies. I was in originally at 440, and I kind of got in thinking that this would come up more. Um, but it just didn't, and I didn't have the best price. Like it would have been better to have around this 430 to 33, and then I would have made me get. It would have been easier to get out at the high of the day or something like that. But I had gotten closer at this 440, so it was harder to get my money back. Um, if I was going to get into it, I should have got in on that Thursday and let it go up. Let's see. So XOM, we're getting to the 115. It will get there. So um, basically, it's just a question of if you want to wait to a down day and then get in, but this is getting to this area. So you still got a few dollars to get in. We had talked about this before when it was at the 105 area. Now it just in the past few days just jumped up. But this was another level, that 105 area. You could have jumped up, waited, what is this, a couple weeks or so, and then make your money. But there's still a few dollars to make. And I think we're going to get here and jump up a little bit. So the money will be there for people if you want to go long on that. AAL, not anything really great to write home about. We know what's going on with BA, so it's just kind of like this is going to be kind of weak. So it's just if you want to get in it and hold on to it, but it's just I like the stock, but I only like it when it's moving. I'm sorry. But when it's not doing anything and Boeing is holding it hostage, you know. Um, we know what's happening here. So it's kind of like a nice time to be in it. It's still above 100. It's kind of bounced back a little bit, but this too shall pass. If you want to get in, I'm telling you, it's going under 100 people. So you can get in now, even if it bounces back up to 120 or something like that, which it really won't, you can still get some money. But it is going down. Dicks, these were upgraded too, to levels. I wouldn't go past 220. I would probably want to short it after that, but that's me. But it's just a question of how long you want to stay in it. But I tend to be more on the downward side. Apple, nothing really to write home about here. It was a Monday. It popped up a little bit. Overall, I think it's still weak. Not gonna talk about any of these. Softy still in good position. If we want to see, you know what I want to do here. I want to short it, but I have to wait because everything's too strong. So, all I can do is try to get at my highest price, 425 or something like that, and wait. Walmart's not doing anything. It will be coming. And this is kind of stabilizing now. Um, I don't know. I, I'm still thinking. This one, 12, 13 area. It may try to stabilize, may try to trick people, but if I have to bet, I would bet down. It's definitely not gonna just bounce back up like that. So Amazon, it hit all-time highs. I think we had said this is the second mountain, so I think we said it's coming back down. So it's gonna kind of stabilize here, bounce around for a little bit, and then hopefully come back down. Macy's is still doing the damn thing. My thoughts on it. I was gonna see if it got to 25. It doesn't look like it can even get there. So you may want to consider or short. But any type of news can change anything with that. But I think in a few weeks you'll hear like, oh, Macy's didn't agree. So we're just gonna bounce back down to freaking 17, $15, whatever. But you just have to wait to find that out. Mickey D's is trending down, like we said. You still have time. This nice candle here is continuing the next few days, and at least you will probably get here. So, but there's money here, guys. Just because you missed a few days, it started. You could say, hey, after this first one, you could have said, let me get in it now. And then you would have got in it, and boom, be already like $4 or $5 down. And just sit there. If you're skittish, get out at 270. If not, 260 or whatever. And then just go long on it. It'll be back up. Home Depot, who cares? Uber, kind of surprised this was down when Lyft was up. I wonder what's going on with it, but I don't care enough to look at it. Nikete, earnings is coming. Earnings will probably be terrible, because it looks like it is. It looks like it's going down, trending down. So I don't expect too much from earnings. And yeah, I still expect to come down to that 80 level. Roku coin. This has to come down eventually, but it will follow Bitcoin, BA. We know where that's at. We talked about the 180. Let's see if it continues to dip. EBC. We told you we wanted to get it at the right price. 50-day moving average seems like it's getting closer. So let's just watch. AMD was weak today, and we're hoping that the chips come down. Nothing really else to write home about. NVDA, it went back a little bit to being positive. I guess that was towards the end of the day. So, but because it's so much, you can't really see it moving, but it did move quite a bit. You're basically looking at $50 there, $50+. But other than that, people, that's it. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm not even gonna do a video today. And Miss Munoz, anything to add, or you want me to look
Great.
at for you?
It was a great review. Did you look at Meta?
I did, but it was very quick. We just basically said Meta's still strong, and I'm afraid to say anything about it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes, still at that $500 level, but that's basically it. Thanks, guys. We'll appreciate it, and we will see you here mañana. Same station, same channel, and same two people.
Sayonara.